All right,
other than
so
Notre Dame.
this is Talking Ball, and we can't get over our reaction video. We're still kind of piddling with that. For once, I think in the history of Talking Ball, me and John finally disagreed on something.
Finally. But first of all,
Because we can't draw that up. That has to happen.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
But first of all, thank you, Cam Smith, with the
Thank you, Cam.
Just Jesus Radio Network, JJRN.
JJR. Hey, way to correct yourself there, Doug.
Yeah, exactly.
JNRJR. Yeah.
But internet-based radio app for all your gospel preaching, gospel singing. It is commercial free. Pick it up anywhere.
Dave's on there.
Our boy Dave is on there.
Yes, sir, 8:30.
Saturday mornings at 8:30, 30-minute broadcasts.
Imagine waking up in the morning, hearing the birds chirp. You got your coffee in one hand, listening to Dave on the other.
Yeah,
That's a great way to start your morning.
It don't get much better than that.
I'm gonna put something on notice.
What?
Whenever we record these videos, we just recorded the reaction, stood up, turned the camera off, turned it back on, sat back down doing this one.
Yeah.
We turn on a dime. So sometimes there's a little overflow there.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
What you mean?
Wanted that. John absolutely understood it.
Yeah, it's all right.
To a T,
What do you mean
John.
turn on a dime?
We completely turn around and start on the next one.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like we come back 2 days later.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, man. I hope you understand.
That was good stuff.
Good stuff, Dave.
That flew right over Dallas's head.
I hope you understand that better than that.
Are you being like while we're in the same like?
So we're going to be talking about
No,
Alabama.
hold on.
and
I gotta
Georgia.
thank Cam Smith again.
I thought I thought him.
No.
Thanked him. Is that,
I gotta thank him for the American Senior Benefits.
Did I not thank him
If
yet?
you're old,
Oh,
go
I'm
to
sorry.
Cam for insurance.
Yeah. Anybody?
Now I'm sorry, Cam.
Anybody?
Sorry, Cam.
Anybody over 50?
Sorry, Cam.
Anybody over 50? Make sure you go give him a call. Open enrollment is going on right now up until
Thank you, Cam.
December the 7th. So make sure you give him a call for all your insurance needs. Again, thank you so much, Cam.
All right,
yeah.
so Georgia won the East 18 weeks ago. Bama finally somehow found a way to win the West.
Snuck it out against Arkansas. Almost lost that game.
Absolutely crazy good division over there. Arkansas's top 10, A&M's top 10, Ole Miss is top 10. Oh, wait. Arkansas's not top 10. A&M's not top 10. Oh, my God. They had to play Tennessee. Tennessee's top 25. No. Bama's struggling with unranked teams.
Bama is struggling.
What is this? What world do we live in?
Bama's extremely
I
susceptible.
think Ole Miss may be top 10, actually.
I think at this point, because they just
If they're not,
they're
they're
like 13.
They're like
Maybe
10 and
Vanderbilt.
they're like 10 and 1 on it.
Yeah, 10-2.
Yeah.
Or they'll be 10-2.
I say if they're
Wait, no, they lost somebody else.
They lost 2 games.
Yeah. Bama and somebody else.
Bama and.
Put it this way, I'm messing around. I'm just kind of shooting the bull, but Bama's won the West. Georgia won the East a few weeks back, and that is before the season. We all assumed it would be. It's the world is back in order.
Yep.
And Bama and Georgia are playing for the rights to say they are the best team in the SEC. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Kind of break down. We're not going to do. I don't know how y'all's mindset. I know earlier season we kind of did roster breaks down.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have to do that.
No, I don't think so.
Now that we're
More of a game
mid-season,
breakdown.
it's more of just kind of talking about it.
I would like to start. I
ahead.
want to ask Dallas a question. Because
Okay.
I feel like a good bit of the times you're a bit unbiased. Whose offense do you have more confidence in?
Just. Are you talking about against each other? Or
No,
are you
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
just
just
who has the better offense?
Who has the better? Who's offense?
In
Yeah,
their weapons and who they have, their personnel.
Alabama.
I agree.
I agree.
Absolutely. And like you said, that's not saying matchup-wise. That's just saying personnel-wise.
Right.
And what I was about to say there is, though, I don't think it's a huge gap. But when you flip it and ask whose defense do you have more confidence in, when I go Georgia, I think there's a significant gap.
No doubt. And here's why I have more confidence in Bama's offense. I think they can, and Georgia can too. I think they can score on any given play. I think Jameson Williams is one of the best wide receivers in college football right now. I think that
He's from Ohio State too.
Yeah, their running game hasn't been that good, but it's been solid.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young's been lights out.
He has, especially here of late. He's starting to really
right. And
get on fire.
He's not really been tested by a great defense. And he's young. Was he a redshirt freshman?
Yeah.
Or
at least a true sophomore.
Right, he's young, and so Georgia will no doubt. But I will say this: I've seen him struggle with pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Georgia lives in the backfield, so it'll be interesting to watch that. And in the past 3 times we played Bama, or Kirby Smart has, we've come out there defensively, and the first half shut them down.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Um,
Very much
even
so. I mean,
last
literally
year's-
having to go to a backup quarterback.
Exactly.
to win.
Even last year's Mac Jones team,
Yeah.
that was, he won the Heisman, or
Right.
Devontae Smith won the
Right.
Heisman. He was a finalist. He set all those records. In the first half, we locked that down. Kirby Smart's always got. It's like he knows how to beat Saban. We just haven't connected on it.
And I will say this real quick about Alabama's offense. Obviously, Bill O'Brien's our offensive coordinator. And a lot of people like to hate on Bill O'Brien because of kind of what happened with the Texans. But
We've
for
been
one,
lights out.
I mean, he won that division with
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But he has had. There's been a couple in key situations when I've been watching Bama that I've scratched my head a little bit on.
Oh, I
that call.
agree.
Like in the key situations, kind of
Well,
that don't really make
it's a little
sense.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that I think
Which
suits
could cost you against the Georgia.
I think suits up very well, and we kind of discussed this already in our reaction video, is that, one, it's not that same Alabama that it's been, but one thing that really sticks out to me is how susceptible Alabama is to the run.
To the run.
That's what's killed them.
And that sets up so well for Georgia. If Georgia can establish the run game, that opens up so many opportunities for Stetson to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Especially, I've seen Georgia run the play action so well.
Right.
And you have to as a defense.
That's where Stetson's best.
If they're he is. If they're running the ball, those linebackers have to creep up. Those safeties have to creep up, and when you do, you get beat over the top. And I
100%.
think that sets up very well for Georgia.
So Bama's
Georgia could have a very, very big run day against Alabama.
Bama's weakness, and it sounds weird to say because they have so many household names. You've got Henry. I'm not going to try to say his last name.
Toe.
And then you've got Will Anderson, who is probably the best outside linebacker in college football.
Yeah.
And I would probably even say that if Adam Anderson was still at Georgia.
Yeah.
But he's an elite pass rusher and a really good overall. But I don't know. That's been their weakness as their linebackers. Outside of Henry T or
Yeah.
Tutu today Jr. And Will Anderson, their linebackers been their weakness. What I'm interested to see is who's going to cover Brock Bowers.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
I mean, because if I'm Georgia, tight end screen.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, Georgia probably runs. I mean, and I look up real quick. We had a drive against Charleston, and I get this, Charleston Southern. I know this, but Brock Bowers has been doing this all year. I called the Brock Bowers drive. We handed him an end around. He ran for like 30 yards, and the next play we threw him a screen, and he ran it in. He broke 2 tackles. Like I said, I know we're playing Charleston Southern here. It was a 20-yard end around, and then receiving wise, Brock had 4 catches for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh.
I mean, he's just playing lights out. I think he may lead our team in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. I don't know that Bama's got a guy that can cover him. And if you say, all right, we're going to put Will Anderson on him, well, now you're taking him out of the pass rush game.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I will say this, really, we've seen Alabama this year get pushed around a good bit.
Right.
They've definitely been out physical, especially at the line of scrimmage. Really, against Ole Miss even, obviously against Texas A&M, against Florida when they have really been susceptible in defense. But that's one thing that's been a bit
LSU.
surprising to me is coming into the season, every expert, all the analysts are saying Bama's going to be back to their typical defense. They're going to have that lights out defense, and that's been their weak point this
Yep.
season.
Yeah.
Has been their defense.
And I'll say this, and this take the only thing, and I'm not saying by any means that Georgia's not going to be ready for the game, prepared for the game. Don't get me wrong, but we understand that Georgia is a lock
Right.
in the playoff. Granted they win this week. They're a lock.
Yeah.
Whether they lose by 40 to Bama or they don't,
Yep.
especially with everybody else falling apart.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
The only advantage that I would, not the only advantage, but the one advantage I would give to
Bama
Alabama,
has to win.
they have to win.
Right.
And I think that's a real thing. I think.
And I'm not going to say, like I said, Georgia wants to win. Kirby wants to beat Nick Saban more than anybody does. Georgia's never going to get over the top because I go ahead and tell you this: even if y'all lose this week, lose to Bama, go on to, let's say Bama loses in the first round of the playoffs, and then y'all win the national championship. Still going to be there. Well,
100%.
y'all couldn't beat Bama in the SEC championship, and it's always going to be there till y'all get over that hump. So no doubt Kirby wants to win that game, no doubt. But Bama, like I said, Bama understands that if we don't win this game, we're not in the playoffs.
Right. It is more of a do or die a little bit. For Bama,
It is.
absolutely.
Georgia has a little bit more leeway to
100%.
lose the
I
ball
agree.
game.
Now, and I
than Bama
absolutely
does.
agree with what you're saying. But I don't believe in the Georgia locker room. They're saying, "Hey, look, y'all."
No,
if we
not
absolutely.
not
Right.
at all. Not at all. No, they're not. Kirby's not getting in there before pregame and going, "All right, guys, I hope y'all win, but hey,
everybody
if we
do our
don't,
best.
if we don't
Have
win,
fun
we're
out there.
Yeah, if we don't win, we're still in the playoff. Nothing like that.
So I remember in the 2019 SEC championship, Georgia versus LSU. That was a game I didn't really look forward to. I knew it was coming. And I talked trash to LSU fans like I didn't know it was coming, but deep down I knew it was
Yeah,
coming.
I don't think anybody wanted to play on that year.
No, that was just one of those. Just give them the championship. We'll just all go home.
Yeah.
But they interviewed Ed O before the game, and they're like, "Well, we understand if y'all lose, you can still get in the playoffs." He said, "No, we got to win," and I think that's going to be Kirby's mindset.
Yeah, I do too.
But no, you're right. I mean, absolutely, Bama's definitely got a. I think Georgia's going to leave it on the field, but Bama is definitely going to leave it on the field. But we mentioned personnel wise, I like Bama's offense better. But matchup-wise, I like Georgia's offense better against Bama's defense than I do against
100%.
Bama's
Yep.
offense against Georgia's
Absolutely.
defense.
Agree completely with that.
And here's the thing: Tennessee's pass game isn't far behind or Alabama's. It's behind
I
them,
can see that.
and it's a decent
agree.
bit behind them, but it's not far behind them.
And I agree with that. I
And
agree with that.
Tennessee's only put up 10 points on our starters. I think you give Bama another 10 points probably on
Yeah,
our
that's good.
on our starters. We're not going to put in our backups against Bama. I don't care if we are up 50. But
If you were at 50, you might.
probably, but we're not going to be up 50. But I just don't think that Bama's air raid is that much better than Tennessee's, and Tennessee couldn't really do much against us.
And I will say,
Especially after
this.
y'all's defense got settled in.
Yeah, that first drive, I mean, they went down there and did what they
Yeah.
wanted, but that's that scripted drive. You see that a lot.
And go ahead, John.
How much do you think, and I don't know if it does at all, how much does it play, and I know it's not like, I guess, just eating at Kirby, but the fact that they haven't beat
Yeah,
Bama.
that's got to
The
be
fact
there.
that
Gotta be
they've
there.
Absolutely
blown
there.
multiple games. You know, I get that it's like eating at Kirby and Cincinnati
gotta
wants to
be-
win, but how
gotta
much
be
does
there.
that play into the
negatively.
actual game negatively for
Yeah,
that? I mean,
It's got to, in a way, in a way, it plays positively because
I agree.
it gives you the motivation.
Yeah, and you can
but
literally-
does it make you more
and
emotional?
you can go in there. Kirby can go in there to these guys, these seniors especially. Because how many times have y'all played Bama in the past? I guess for a senior, be 4 years,
Put it this way:
3.
Jordan Davis has lost to him 3 times.
Yeah. So, but positively he can go in there into the locker room or whatever in the film room and say, "Hey, overall we've dominated the first half
100%.
every game,
Yep.
practically 3/4
Yeah,
every game." But on the other hand, you could say, "But we've never beat them."
right.
You know, so I think it feeds in both ways.
And
Part
then, I
of
mean,
that-
how much does that play into Kirby actual coaching where he
Being
might
aggr-
make a bad emotional decision,
being aggressive
a
off the
fake
bat,
punt or
yep.
something like that, that could
Yeah.
cost him.
Yep.
I think Kirby's grown since the
No, no,
likes,
I
the
agree.
Yeah,
likes
for
of-
sure.
I know everybody wants to bring up that fourth.
Well, I just kind of threw that in there.
Right,
as a
I think
reference.
Kirby's grown. You got to remember that was Kirby's second year ever head coaching.
Yeah.
And this is Kirby's first ever head coaching job. It's probably gonna be his last ever head coaching job.
Yeah.
I think Kirby and just watching him and even his post game conferences and how he's just grown. But no, there's a positive side of that. And there's a negative side of that. There's a positive drive that gives you that extra drive. But there's a negative monkey on your back.
Yep.
Right.
There's a negative mindset.
And it's always there till you get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no doubt. But I do think Georgia. I'm a Georgia fan. I'm never going to pick against them.
Yeah.
I think Georgia's got the advantage.
100%.
if
They should
Georgia-
definitely be favored.
Georgia will be favored probably 3.5. You think maybe 6.5.
I
Yeah,
could be
so
more.
I was
I
gonna
could
say I was gonna say probably 6 or 7.
see, I could see 6.
I would favor them by 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I don't know that Vegas will.
Right.
But nonetheless, I mean, this is going to be a dogfight for majority of the game. I'd be shocked to see Georgia run away with it in a big way. I do think in the fourth quarter you could see us maybe get up 10 or 17.
Yeah, I can see.
Absolutely.
I can see that.
Depending on how our defense plays. Now, we may come out and really struggle against that in that pass game and almost get a shootout with them. You don't never know.
Right.
But our defense has been so
Yeah, I'd have
good.
never thought y'all would have gotten a shootout with Oklahoma.
Right. No,
Couple
and
years
I remember telling you over and over again before that game we can't win a shootout.
Right, and you did.
And we did. But I do think overall this is Georgia's year. And regardless if they win this game, they're in the playoffs, but I think they're going to look at it as a must-win.
And this is probably a dumb question because, as we've said, Alabama can't stop the run, and I do not see them stopping the run against Georgia. But as a Georgia fan, how confident would you be if you had to rely on Stetson to win that game for y'all?
Not very confident.
You're confident.
Um,
But I don't see them stop.
No,
There's
I
no
don't
way
either.
they stop the run.
no, they're
Not with all. I mean, y'all got like a Corvette, a Lamborghini.
right.
You got a Bentley as running backs.
I think
mean,
Kenny McIntosh is our best running back overall,
Yeah.
and he's the probably third option right now.
Yeah.
Maybe fourth. But James Cook is playing lights out. No discredit to him, or even Zeus. He's playing good too. But that's the thing is, and like me and Dallas were talking about, or maybe it was me and you talking about, just the fact of we're gonna have the ability to keep Bama's offense off the field and running it and wear down their defense. And the thing is about wearing their defense down, that's when you get in the fourth quarter of now we're up 10. Now we're up 17.
And that's been and we've known for years, especially the past 3 years, 4 years, that Georgia's, they've had a championship caliber defense every year, and that's why y'all been able to dominate Alabama, especially in the early. But it's been that inability to run. It's been that Bama defense stopping Georgia's run that's caused and allowed Bama to get back into the game.
I mean,
but this year it seems like the roles are reversed, where Alabama does have a susceptible defense, and Georgia can run the ball down the throat, and that's why I think if it gets down to the late minutes of the game, I think Georgia can sustain a drive and keep Alabama's offense off the field.
Off the top of my head, I can really think of that have hurt us against Bama. One of them is the inability to get to the quarterback.
Yeah. 100%.
Georgia is the best team in the nation right now at getting to the quarterback. I remember the 2018 SEC Championship. Whenever they got that last drive and Jalen Hurts was in, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
We couldn't get to the quarterback. I think our best pass rusher was Jonathan Ledbetter. And, dang good dog. I'd love to meet. If I ran into him in public, I'd be like, hey, man, what's up? Awesome to meet you. He didn't get drafted.
Right.
He's not on an NFL roster.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. I mean, and like I said, I think he was one of our better ones that year. Now, we had other guys, but this year we're going to get to the quarterback. They have a banged-up offensive line, but Dan Lanning's ability to draw up pass rush is ridiculous. We're going to get to the quarterback, and I think you're going to see us like Clemson. Those two linebackers between Tyndall and between Walker, and between Nakobe Dean, and those three guys that they're going to be in the backfield. We're going to draw it up and make them beat us. And I think that pressuring the young quarterback and Bryce Young is going to give him fits.
Yep, I agree. But good video.
Also, real quick, just throw in, not only does Bama's defense have an inability to stop the run, Bama's offense at times has really struggled to run.
Absolutely have.
If you force Bryce Young to beat Georgia, it's going to be ugly.
Yep. Yeah. But go ahead and give us your early predictions.
On word of the day. We
didn't do a word of the day.
Do we need a score? You want a score? Or?
If you want to. Not us. We'll give ours later, but for the viewers, yeah.
34-20 dogs.
Okay, or you go ahead and give yours now. That's fine, too. You'll probably change it by score-wise.
Hey, 34-20 dogs.
34-20.
By the time it comes
What's
around.
the word of the day?
The word of today, my friend.
Joash.
Joash.
That's a great word. Great word.
Joash.
Be a Joash this week. Hey, we enjoyed it. Thanks for watching us. We love you.